In March 2022, the tennis world was left shocked when three-time Grand Slam champion Ash Barty announced her retirement at the age of 25. Many fans believe that her departure has left a gaping hole in women's tennis. The French Open tournament director Amélie Mauresmo's recent comments about the sport seem to confirm these suspicions. In today's video, we're talking about Amélie's controversial statement, so let's get into it. First up, women's matches had less appeal than men's at Roland Garros. Amélie Mauresmo is a former world #1 tennis player who won 2 Grand Slams during her career, and even won a silver medal for her country. Now, she's the French Open's first female director, and her shocking comments about the sport she once dominated has sparked quite a bit of controversy. At a press conference recapping the second week of the tournament, Amélie said that in the current era of tennis, she doesn't feel bad saying there's more attraction and appeal for the men's matches. Of the 10 night sessions that had taken place at this point, only one of them featured a women's tie, when home player Elise Cornet faced Jelena Ostapenko in the second round. Amélie explained this decision by saying that it was tough trying to figure out a women's pairing on a daily basis that had a matchup worthy of being highlighted in the separate session. These comments reflect the general feeling of the tennis world that the sport has been really hurt by Ash Barty's surprising exit. Many fear that women's tennis just doesn't have enough stars at the moment, and it looks like Amélie feels the same way. The night sessions are usually a spectacle, and it's pretty sad that so many talented players didn't get the chance to showcase their abilities in front of packed crowds. If Amélie and other Grand Slam organizers really want women's tennis to be more popular, maybe they should make sure that the female players get more opportunities to play at better slots. Next, Iga Swiatek disappointed and surprised by Amélie's comments. Iga Swiatek is currently the best tennis player on the planet, and she's on an incredible winning streak of 35 matches, the longest on tour since Serena Williams. The 21-year-old Pole was understandably offended by Amélie's comments and addressed them after making the semi-finals. Iga called the director's remarks disappointing and surprising, especially because Amélie was also on the WTA herself. She said that while it's always more convenient to play at normal times, she would have liked to entertain people during the night sessions. She expressed that women's tennis has a lot of advantages, and added that while some may say it's unpredictable and girls aren't consistent, it may even attract more people due to this unpredictability. We can't even imagine how mad Iga must have been after hearing these comments. She's literally on one of the best runs of all time, and remarks like this usually downplay her achievements. Also, this French Open, she had to play all her games in the daytime slot, and that's gotta be super frustrating for a player of her caliber. Apparently, Iga wasn't the only one disappointed by Amélie's thoughts on the state of the game. In a statement to AFP, the WTA said that the depth of talent we're witnessing in the sport is incredible, and called for a more balanced match schedule. They stated that tennis fans want to see the excitement and thrill of women's tennis on the biggest stages and in the premium time slots. Spot on, WTA, now do something about it. And now, Amélie apologized for her comments. Amélie Mauresmo responded to the backlash she was facing and said that the comments she had made were taken out of context and out of the wider picture. Thankfully, she still apologized to the players who were hurt by what she had said. Amélie defended herself and said that anyone who knows her knows that throughout her career she's been a big fighter for equal rights and women's tennis, and for women in general. She addressed the scheduling situation and said that because men's matches usually last longer than women's matches, she made the decision so that ticket holders would get what they paid for. She added that she feels that it's really tough to schedule a women's match at night because they have to take the length into consideration. While we understand where Amélie's coming from, the thing is that longer matches don't necessarily mean more entertainment. In fact, for some people, the best of 3 sets in women's games are actually more attractive. This isn't a good enough excuse for the unfair scheduling, and moving forward, we hope that every Grand Slam gives women players the opportunity to impress fans in the primetime slots. Fingers crossed. And that's all about Amélie Mauresmo's comments about women's tennis. Now it's time to move on to some more related news. Next, in other related news, Emma Raducanu has no idea if she'll be able to play Wimbledon this year. 19-year-old Emma Raducanu is one of the most promising players in world tennis right now. She's the current British #1 as well as the reigning US Open champion. Last year, she even won the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award. Naturally, her many fans were waiting for the young star to play Wimbledon this year. Sadly, it looks like she might have to wait a bit before she compete in the most prestigious tennis tournament in the world. Emma had to retire from her Nottingham Open game with Victoria Golubic because of what she called a freak injury. Speaking to the press after the game, she revealed that she had pulled something and she would get her injury checked out as soon soon as possible. Right now, no one has any idea if she'll be able to play Wimbledon or not. This isn't the first time Emma has had to deal with fitness issues this year. It's actually her third mid-game retirement since her historic 2021 US Open victory. She previously bowed out of matches in Guadalajara in February and Rome in May due to injuries. In the French Open, she lost in the second round, but fans were pretty glad she came through the campaign without any injury. Hopefully, this new problem isn't anything serious, and we'll get to see the current world number 11 play Wimbledon and impress the world once again. And now, the King of Clay receives praise from Spanish King Felipe VI. Rafa Nadal, aka the King of Clay, lifted his 22nd Grand Slam title last week, moving 2 major crowns ahead of rivals Novak Djokovic and the greatest tennis player of all time, Roger Federer. While many believe that Rafa isn't really as good as Novak and Roger because most of his titles have come on clay, no sport has ever seen anything like the Spaniards' domination in the French Open. The Spanish King Felipe VI was attending the final and was very happy when Rafa destroyed Captain Ruud in straight sets. He called Rafa the best athlete in the history of Spain and revealed that he thanked him at the end of the game. Imagine being thanked by the literal king of your country? Who's out here doing it like Rafa? Felipe VI also said that Spain has to pay the legend tribute for many, many years. He called Rafael Nadal the king of Roland Garros and the tennis world. We have to say, we agree with the king. While the great country of Spain has had its share of incredible athletes, no one comes close to Rafa. His record in the French Open alone sets him apart from literally everyone else. Finally, Tim Henman hopes Roger Federer will make a great comeback. What can be said about the Swiss maestro that hasn't been said already? The 20-time Grand Slam winner has transcended the sport. For many people around the world, Roger Federer is tennis. The 40-year-old has won a whopping 369 times at the majors, a record that will probably never be broken. Sadly, he's been away from tennis for over 10 months because of a third knee injury in 2 years. He's set to return for the Laver Cup this September, and former professional tennis player Tim Henman is hopeful the mighty Federer will make another great comeback to the sport. He will, he most certainly will. You can never count Roger Federer out. In the latest edition of ATP Tennis Radio, Tim said that Federer is incredible, and it's always a pleasure to watch him play. He also said that for the sake of tennis, he hopes Roger will be able to return and end his career on his own terms. And we agree. Tennis is simply not the same without Roger, and fans are hoping he'll make a comeback similar to the one he made in 2017. While some may argue that he's a bit too old to dominate the sport again, Roger Federer has proven in the past that the so-called rules simply don't apply to him. He's not done just yet, and perhaps tennis's greatest legend has one more fantastic run left in him. It certainly wouldn't be surprising. And that's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on Amelie Mauresmo's comments about women's tennis? Please let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.